Hello everyone and welcome back to Smash Class. My name is Ramses and today I'm here for the final part of our advantage state guide. Last time we looked at how to beat your opponent on the ledge, and I hope you really studied up on that because it's a lot of knowledge, a lot of coverage, and once you know what to do, it actually becomes very easy. Today we're going to go into one of the more abstract forms of advantage state, which is the corner situation. So how do you make the most out of your opponent being in the corner? In a game like Smash, there's so many movement options that it's a little bit hard to say, hey, how do you limit your opponent's movement when he can jump, full hop, short hop, roll in, dash in, walk, etc, etc. So today, I'm going to try to talk you through some of the things that you can do to keep your opponent in the corner for a long time. So to get the most out of your corner pressure, the most important thing is to know what the weaknesses of being in the corner are. And the most important thing, the most important weakness is that your opponent cannot dash back. So me as Zero Suit, if I try to dash back, you know, I kind of get stuck in the corner. I could go off stage, but you know, that's also pretty risky. We talked about that last week. So generally, there's very little room to retreat to. Now, when you defend from your opponent, there are a few things you can do. Of course, we can defend using our shield. We can defend by, you know, jumping over their attacks. We can do a lot of things to defend, but one of the most important things to defend is to dash back, right? So if my opponent tries to hit me here and I dash back and they miss, I can come back in and I can try to punish them, right? So again, startup, active frames, end lag. So during those end lag frames, you can come back in and punish them. It's kind of like in boxing, right? You can block a punch, but after blocking the punch, you know, you're going to be stuck in the block. Whereas if you weave out, you can then counterattack yourself. So it's very similar in fighting games where if you weave out of the range of your opponent's attacks, you can counteract quite easily. In the corner, this is very hard to do. So what does that mean? That means that if Mario wants to fight here, then Mario gets to fight, right? Like if Mario throws out, for example, a dash attack, like the only thing Zero Suit can really do is shield it. She can try to jump over, but you know, jumping over when Mario's standing here, right? Like you're jumping into Mario from the corner in those situations. Like right here, I would be jumping towards Mario, which makes it a lot easier for Mario to cover something like that. So it's very important that like when you got your opponent in the corner, you want to capitalize on the fact that they cannot avoid your attacks, and if they do, they're often committing in a way that is very easy for you to react to and kind of beating out. Now, there is one way to get back to the center of the stage, and this is probably the most common option that you see when your opponent's in the corner, and it is this roll behind the opponent. Because if you look at the situation, now Mario is the one getting cornered. So as Mario, considering the fact that, you know, our opponent has to interact with us, they can jump, they can roll in, but those are more committal options. How do you go about pressuring your opponent? Well, the answer is to actually not pressure directly. When I'm playing Mario and I think, okay, she's going to shield because that's the main way she's going to mitigate my pressure, I'm going to grab her. That also means that when I grab, I open myself up to her jumping, to her rolling in, right? So as soon as I go for that option, my pressure is gone. I'm trying to capitalize on the pressure with one option, and that kind of like opens up a rock, paper, scissors situation where she can shield, right, to mitigate an attack, but then I can grab it to mitigate the shield, and then she can, you know, jump over or roll away to mitigate my grab. So it kind of becomes like a guess. And you don't want to have a guess when you're in an advantage. You want to have a solid and consistent advantage that you can hold on to. So what Mario actually wants to do here is kind of wait here and be like, okay, what are you gonna do? So if they roll here, I can punish it on reaction. If they jump here, I can chase in the air myself, right? And for Zero Suit, the only remaining option then is to fight her way out of the corner. So if Mario here is waiting, Zero Suit is going to have to, you know, like call it out with the dash attack of her own. Or maybe even, you know, if Mario is waiting for shielding, Zero Suit can, you know, try to get a grab and then throw Mario off stage and then, you know, have the off stage advantage. So in other words, when someone is in the corner, you kind of start off by playing a very patient game where you wait for them to mitigate their bad situation, right? So it's kind of similar. If you're stuck in a bad situation, the first thing that our monkey brain tries to do is it tries to get out of the bad situation, right? So we gotta wait for their options to get out of the bad situation, like a jump, like a roll. Once they have shown that they are comfortable being in a bad situation, then it becomes a mind game where, like, are they gonna fight out of the corner? Are they gonna wait for us, right? And that is where we get to our second advantage in the corner, which is an advantageous reward. So if we compare, like, if Zero Suit hits us with a dash attack here, like, it kind of sucks, but it's not a big deal. We're back to the center of the stage, as you can see, right? So we're kind of going back to a neutral sort of scenario. But if I hit Zero Suit in the corner, she's gonna be off stage, right? And now she has to recover. She could die. She could fail to recover. I'm holding two controllers here, so excuse me if I cannot recover. But yeah, so your reward is going to be way higher, especially when the percentages start ticking up, right? So if it's like say we're at 70%, right? Both of us are at about like 70. Say that she hits us with a dash attack here. Again, we're kind of in the center of the stage. We're kind of resetting to neutral. It's not a big deal. But if we hit her with just a tilt attack, she's already pretty far off stage, and now we can make a very legitimate attempt at taking her stock because of the offstage pressure that we discussed a few weeks ago. So the fact that your back's to the corner means that you're closer to the blast zones, means that you're closer to offstage, which means that where normally our reward might be pretty similar, now the reward is advantageous for Mario, just in terms of where the hit sends the opponent. And just to illustrate that, let's compare this, right? So say we're in the center of the stage and Mario hits a forward smash here. It's strong, but it doesn't kill. Now, say we do the same thing in the corner, it's not even a question, right? So in that sense, you're killing easily like 30% sooner. So very important, right, guys? You gotta stay patient at first. You gotta wait for your opponent to hang themselves, because they're gonna not be comfortable in the corner. They know they can die sooner, so you're gonna do something like a rollout, and then you grab them, you throw them back off, and now again you make a very legitimate attempt at taking their stock, right? And if they jump, it's kind of the same thing, right? So you wait here, she jumps, and you chase her. You try to hit her with her aerial. Again, through control is a little bit hard to show, but be patient. Wait for your opponent. Wait, see what they do. Gather that information, and only when they've shown to be disciplined enough to accept being in a bad situation, right, to try to counterplay you instead of doing what they want, that is where you start mixing it up. That is where you start, playing the direct interactions, and that is what we're going to be talking about next week. So I hope that lesson was informative to you guys. Of course, corner pressure is a very important part of your game plan. We talked about it last week, where with ledge dropping, sometimes you're covering the roll, sometimes you're covering the jump, and you're kind of letting them normal get up and put themselves in the corner. And now you know when they do that, how to punish them. It's very much about the psychological aspect of the game. And if you like that stuff, then next week there's going to be way more of that coming your way. So stay tuned for next week's episode of Smash Clash. For now, that's going to be all from me. Hope you guys, of course, stay smart.